comic books, movies, TV, and more. Nerds are everywhere. It's time to assemble! It's Nerds United.
Hello and welcome to a brand new Nerds United, a Jittery Monkey podcast, jitterymonkey.com, the podcast network that is over 11 years old now, if you can imagine that. I'm your host, Greg Mahochko, and it's good to see my friend and co-host of the year, Mike Luther, once again. Hello, Mike.
Hey, how's it going?
Going great. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good right now.
Well, that's what we like to see. That's what we like to hear. Darn grateful for you, my friend.
Yes, indeed.
How we, let me try that again. It's gonna be a fun night if we're just gonna repeat every word. How have you been? How have you been? How was your week off last week?
I didn't take the full week off last week.
No, I mean the week off from the show.
I mean it was fine. Last night. So I'll tell you a story about Nolan. But it ended up not being bad. But
okay.
So I got home from my friend's house about 7:00, and I noticed his car was here, but he wasn't. So no big deal, which means he walked somewhere or somebody picked him up.
Right.
So I texted him and I said, "Hey, where you at?" And a little while later, he texts back, "I'm helping somebody paint." I'm like, "Who?" He goes, "Old couple that lives nearby." And I said, "Oh, okay. Do you know them?" And he said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So, he about 10:00, still not home. So I texted him again and said, "Hey, are you still painting?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay, just making sure you didn't get murdered." And he said, "Nope, still alive." But then it got to like midnight, and I'm like, "What old couple paints this late?"
Right.
And I text him again and I asked him where he was at or something like that. And he said, almost done. Just got 2 rooms left. I'm like, okay, this is
painting the whole house.
I'm getting slightly nervous. And
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, either one, he's out doing something he shouldn't be at his age.
Which is unlike him.
Very unlike him. Yeah, absolutely. Or something bad happened to him and somebody just has his phone and is pretending to be him, So then it comes to like 1:30 in the morning and I'm calling him. I'm calling him and stuff like that and not getting an answer. But then he would text, like he wouldn't pick up the phone, but he would text and be like, "I'm fine. Should be done soon." I'm like, okay, now I'm getting really nervous.
Yeah.
And so I texted him at like 1:45. I said, either be home by 2 or call me. Because I'm like, something's going on.
Right.
But 2, like right around 2:00, he called and he's like, "Hey, we're just finishing up now. We should be done." And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, it's his voice and he's not slurring his speech, So I'm like, okay. And then sure enough, like 2:30, he comes home and like had very clearly been painting, like paint all over his clothes. And I was like, so who's this couple? He's like, "This couple right down the road." And I go, "How do you know them?" He goes, "When I walk to work, like, they'll say hi or whatever. And then they ask me if I wanted to paint or, and he goes, honestly, "I didn't think we were going to be doing the whole thing." He goes, "I didn't think it would take this long." I go, "Did they pay you at least?" And he goes, "Yeah, they paid me. They gave him $100, which about $15 an hour, close to it." Okay. So that's good. Or decent at least. But then, yeah, he's back over there now painting. So I text him again, and I said, "Are you painting again?" And he said, "Yeah, but I started earlier, so it won't be 2:00 in the morning." I'm like, okay.
Do you know the name of these people?
Nope, not at all. And he I was like, "Where are they?" And I think it's the apartment complex right next door to us. I think because it has to be on his way to work.
Yeah.
And I tried to point it out, and he said, "Yeah, it's a couple with a gray truck or something like that." But I didn't see any gray trucks next door. But that's what I think it is. So.
I'd be pooping bricks.
Yeah.
You probably could have used the distraction of doing the show last night.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not at 8 or 9, but like at midnight or 1. You'd be like,
yeah. So yeah, but he came home and But I'm curious of what he wore there, because the clothes that he wore are just ruined. Which is not. It's he wore his camp counselor shirt, which luckily he has at least one more of, and then just regular gym shorts last night. So he has a ton of gym shorts. So
not exactly painter's clothes,
no.
or anything like that.
Yeah. So, but that was my little story.
That's wild.
Yes.
So since the last time we did a show, I got my finger fixed.
Yes.
I had a birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday.
So did America. Well, thank you. And tomorrow we go on vacation.
Yes. Where are you going?
We're going to start in Indianapolis. We're going to end up in Cincinnati. We're going to hit a few little spots along the way. So
nice.
Little week-long 8-day. Like leave Sunday, come back on Sunday type of thing. So
yeah. What time are you guys leaving?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like, okay, we got to get going in the morning, or okay, we're gonna eat breakfast here and then go, or.
Oh no, I think we're gonna get up. We're gonna go to church. We're gonna get some donuts. I'll have coffee. We'll probably head out 10:30, 11, something like that.
Now, when you go to church, because I know you're Catholic, do you get all dressed up? Do you put is it like a suit and tie?
Right now it's like khakis and polo.
Khakis and polo. Okay, that's what I figure.
Try to keep it. Now for Christmas, Easter, baptisms, things like that, First Communion, they want to suit and boot. So.
And you're drinking a Blue Moon?
I'm drinking a Blue Moon currently, and then I have some water for after that.
Perfect.
Fred's here tonight. Fred wants to know who was pooping bricks. Fred, just at the end of this episode, go back to the beginning, hear Mike's story about where his son was last night till the wee hours, and the anxiety he must have been feeling.
Yes.
So Fred is a regular here on Nerds United, and after last week's episode, or the last episode, because we took last week off for, I can't remember the reasons. Probably just because I
had stuff to do and you had stuff to do.
Those are good reasons.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that as well. But Fred provided some images. He had found some of his old comics and shared them with us over at nerdsunitedpodcast@gmail.com. So Fred, he sent the picture, so I'm sure he's okay with me sharing the images. But let's take a look at some of these comics that Fred had from yesteryear. And what we see here is some Green Lanterns.
A lot of Green Lanterns.
That's, well done, Fred. See, I knew I liked Fred. We have a variety of Marvel. I see some Captain America, Hulk. We have superpowers, some Transformers in there. Secret Wars. And if you can tell, I believe it's issue 1 of the Infinite Crisis.
Yes.
Bottom left. Which I don't know for sure, but that may be actually worth something depending on its condition. If anything, it's iconic artwork. So here we have some Power Man Iron, G.I. Joe, Ghost Rider, Fantastic Four, some Hawkeye, which is probably the first time I've ever seen a standalone Hawkeye comic book from that era. Avengers, some Spidey, Super Friends, and last but not least, I really like this one here, some Star Wars. And he has Return of the Jedi 1, 2, and 4, but not 3. And I don't know if you, I can't really zoom in on this because, I didn't think about this until now. But I like how the covers of Return of the Jedi are very simple, just with characters. I'd be really curious to know who was on that Return of the Jedi 3.
Oh, yeah.
And I may be wrong. Maybe he has 1, 3, 4. Can't remember if it was 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 4. But I know he said he was missing one of the 3, or one of the 4. So, but you see Boba Fett up there. I think that's supposed to be C-3PO and R2-D2 in the bottom left. Do you remember they used to have a cartoon, like an Ewok and droid cartoon or something in the 80s? Do you remember that at all, Mike?
Vaguely.
Yeah. I remember I had a book, like a Scholastic book fair type of book from it. 35 years ago, if not more. So, all right, cool. Well, Fred, thank you so much for sharing those with us. And Mike, that brings us to if you have acquired or read any comics in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't have it on me though, but I got Black Hammer. The last is like a part 2. I think it's the last of Black Hammer. I think I got that. I'm probably about halfway through it, and that's about it.
I did not acquire anything new in the last couple of weeks, but I did finish reading. It's great. I have an image, but it's not the cover. So if you recall, 2 weeks ago, I talked about Darkhold.
Yes, Darkhold, yes.
And I finished reading that here. I think when we talked about it before, I really had no idea what the story was on the inside. And I don't know, as least spoilery as possible. We have some Avengers, or at least Marvel heroes, who are corrupted by this other plane of existence through the Darkhold. So I'm going to share this image here. They call them the Darkhold Defiled. So you have Wasp here in the front.
Yeah,
that's Blade. There's Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Black Bolt.
Okay, I'm interested.
And what each issue was of this Darkhold trade paperback was, it's like the Darkhold corrupted these characters' origins. I mean, you look at Iron Man there; he looks completely disfigured. Spider-Man is different. Wasp. I mean, they're all like in the Wasp story. They get into the kind of the abusive relationship that she had with Hank Pym back in the OG, Avengers run way back at the beginning. So obviously they're all corrupted versions of themselves. And I kept thinking the more I'm like this book I read through it very quickly, but the more like the thinner the back end of it, kind of like, are they going to wrap this up? Like, is there a volume 2 I don't know about? But it's pretty well all self-contained. It's a lot of fun. It definitely teeters more on like I mean, just kind of by observation there, on the horror side of Marvel.
Yeah.
So, not quite like Marvel Zombies, but definitely like really dark versions of characters. Specifically, like the Iron Man story was unnerving. And the artwork really played a big part of that. So can't wait for Fred says, too late. Disney's already corrupted the Marvel heroes. I can't wait to get this one in your hands, Mike, and have you read it and see what you think about it. Because it was a fun story, but it was,
sounds like something I would like for sure.
Little on the psychological again, like I said, horror aspect. So I haven't finished anything else, but I did read some more of the Planet Hulk or World War Hulk from before. So, but that's all that I have read. So, and like I said, nothing new acquiring. It'll be a couple weeks, obviously, with us going out of town. It'll be a couple weeks before I get to Twilight Comics, Swansea, Illinois, to see what is new in my pull folder. And I don't know, Mike, if you saw this. Well, we're talking comics, and then we'll transition to TVs and movie and things like that. But I know I shared this on our Nerds United Facebook page this week, or sometime in the last 2 weeks. We got a lot to cover. But this is leaked information from the upcoming South Dakota. SDCC, the South Dakota Comic-Con,
Perfect.
Up there in Pierre, South Dakota, or Rapid City, perhaps. No, San Diego Comic-Con. This is leaked. This is an ashcan, and this is a rumor has it, or allegedly, or however you want to say it. DC Comics is going to do a reboot again. Because in the last 15 years, we've had New 52. We've had, I can't remember the number of. I think there's been like 3 reboots in the last 15 years, or 3. I don't want to say start over. That's another way to say it. Anyway, allegedly what they're calling it didn't work is Absolute, a new Absolute era, and this is artwork from Bleeding Cool. You know, give them credits up in the top left there. And like I said, this is an ashcan or a sketch cover of what Absolute Batman could look like. A very different representation of the Batman logo across the chest there. From what I've read, that is supposed to be like steel plate armor type. But what you see coming off the hands are like an extension of bat wings. And I've seen other sketches from what allegedly, again, this is all rumor and innuendo, but what's allegedly inside this next version of the story. But I don't really, it's almost like Spawn's cape or the, what is it? The cape that helps Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Or if you want to have a deep cut, NBC's series, The Cape, that was also from like 15 years ago, that you can kind of control. It looks like, I think in one of the frames, it looked like Batman was choking out a villain or something with this cape extension that comes off the hands. I don't know. It looked weird, but I'm kind of at the point, like we just are not too terribly far into a run. Like if I had one of the Superman issues nearby, I show like they just kind of rebranded DC not too terribly long ago. So I don't know what's going on. They're DC corporate, but enough's enough with the last. In my opinion, I don't know. I mean, you seem kind of impressed by the artwork here. Like, what's your take on if they were to do another universe reboot?
Well, for one, as far as the artwork goes, Batman has clearly been working out. He's on some special supplements right there.
Right.
You know, I mean, Batman's always been a strong guy, but he's never had the 24-inch biceps. You know,
you saying that he's on the would you say Hollywood's vitamin S?
He's on some secret juice for sure. The Hollywood secret juice. Look, the artwork looks great. Yeah, the wings or whatever you call it, it does look, or the extensions does look kind of weird. Again, we don't know what the story is or anything. I think it's fine. Feel free to reboot. It's just like with movies. The old movies are always going to be there. The old comic books are always going to be there.
Are you saying that like for, I don't say necessarily like Ghostbusters or I don't know. We always have the originals, right?
Yeah.
So this a little bit more. This cover is by Nick Dragotta.
Sounds good.
This what you're seeing here is a 2024 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive ashcan. So obviously, I think it's going to be something that they're planning on distributing to con goers. Nick Dragotta is artist and co-creator of East of West, which I have somewhere a few of those volumes. Captain America, Spider-Man, the X-Men, and others. This is allegedly part of the like Scott Snyder, I guess, is helming more Batman, or maybe taking charge of some of the DC stuff in totality. So Scott Snyder gave us the Court of Owls when there was New 52. So I tend to trust his opinions and perspectives, but this just seems to be a bit of a departure. So I'll hold out full judgment until I can see something tangible in my hands and judge for myself.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, we're moving along, man. Which means I got to clear some stuff, add some stuff. We got a slew. That's right, Mike. A slew of trailers in the last couple of weeks.
I do believe you are correct. I forget which ones, but I'm pretty sure I've watched them, all of them.
The first one we got was, honest to goodness, 2 days after we did our last show.
Okay.
It's probably, if I'm being honest, it may be the project you're looking forward to the least.
Okay.
And that would be Hellboy's The Crooked Man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's fine, you know. It just first of all, and I'm sure I'd heard it. And I know they say this a lot on here, but I had completely forgotten about it. There was no mention. Like I again, probably a year ago, I'm sure I read an article or saw a headline talking about there was going to be another Hellboy, and because I do vaguely remember the actor who plays Hellboy now. I remember talking about. I didn't think he was going to be like that. He's not that big of a guy. You know, he might be tall, but I don't think he's like muscular. But of course, Hollywood secret, you can get muscular.
Like a big name either, you know.
Not a big name. Yeah, but with that, that's fine, you know. But yeah, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh yeah, here's the trailer for it. I was like, oh, okay.
And the actor who will be Hellboy is, I'm sure I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly, but it's what I do. Jack Kesey, or maybe Casey, who does have some comic book movie blood in him. He played Black Tom in Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
and that's about the only thing that he's done that I recognized. Okay. And every time I see like Deadpool 2 actor to play Hellboy, I'm like, who is he again? I always have to go back and remind myself who he was. Because it's not exactly what we would call a big part. I guess he's done other things. They're just not like nothing that jumps out to me that has fallen within my range of, like my sphere of interest, for like.
Yeah.
So, also, by the way, this is, Fred says, Hellboy from the Cartoon Network. Yeah, this is Mike Mignola's original art for, the Crooked Man is a Hellboy story. Here's Jack as Hellboy.
Yeah.
So, I know what I was doing. I was trying to add more graphics to the show. So, bear with me, everybody, as we are cooking today. Absolutely cooking. Got those. Got to add those. Don't you? Peek behind the curtain, if you'll allow me, good folks. Is that the program only lets me put up so many pictures in the queue. So as some get used, I 86 them and add new ones, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So I don't know. This will be our fourth Hellboy movie. Nobody's ever going to be as welcome or beloved as Ron Perlman, and there's just no. Yep. And we still don't have a close to that story. Like I know Guillermo del Toro says that there was a trilogy he was working on, and it doesn't look like that's ever going to happen.
No, I can't remember exactly, but I think Ron Perlman had. I know I've heard both from, not personally from Ron Perlman. That'd be awesome.
No, great friend of the show, Ron Perlman.
Yeah. But I've heard him talking about how he would love to do it, and then I've also heard him talking about like he's just too old for it now to put on all the prosthetics and you know.
I think the last I heard, and it's been probably a couple of years, is that he would go through it again, but only for Guillermo.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely.
So, that element seems like a no-brainer. Okay, we're like I said, we're cooking. We are cooking with what is that thing that we cook with, Mike?
Extra virgin olive oil.
EVOO, as Rachel Ray? Yeah, Rachel Ray likes to call it. Fred says, I don't want a peek behind Greg's curtain. That's your loss, I guess.
That's true.
And says, Black Tom and Deadpool 2, huh? What lineage was hemorrhoid sufferer number 3 busy? Thank you. Thank you, Fred, for being with us tonight. We know you probably have family or something. So, all right. So that was one trailer that we got. Again, we got that 2 weeks ago. More recently, and in a sphere that, dare I say, is of greater interest, At least it's Marvel.
Yeah.
For Disney Plus, we got a little look at Agatha all along, Mike.
Yes. And it is a Disney series. No, it's I was gonna say I'm not. It wasn't bad. Even when they announced it, I was never really like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm really looking forward to.
Right.
Will I watch it on Disney Plus? Yeah.
You
But
better.
but am I just like I can't wait till it comes out? No. But I don't know who the audience for it is. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's me.
It may be fans of Catherine Hahn.
True, which understandable, as you should be fans of her.
Maybe fans of Aubrey Plaza, not pictured. Aubrey Plaza's in the series as well. Maybe fans of people who actually enjoyed WandaVision, Mike, who want to see how they're going to incorporate like this version of Agatha here, who was under the spell, and kind of snap her out of it. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see how they get rid of that sitcom-y style, and which I know you hated.
Yes.
You're like, I did. Don't ever bring it up again. And again, get back to they're saying, and I think this is probably this is why I brought these two, Hellboy and Agatha, all along side by side, is they both look to be strong attempts at moving their particular characters, their particular stories into a more horror-based presentation.
Especially with Hellboy, for sure.
For sure. That was, the jump scares, and they're definitely leaning into that. And then there were moments of the Agatha all along trailer that definitely indicate that that's now there won't be hard R and severed limbs and things like that. It won't be violent like The Boys, but what they can get away with, I think in their I don't want to say sterilized or sanitized Disney Plus version, but I think they'll attempt to push the envelope and push the character towards that direction. So
By the way, speaking of The Boys, are you caught up on it?
I watched the most recent episode last night. Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow. So not this episode, but the one before with Web Weaver.
Or this episode with Web Weaver.
There were so many moments during that I just couldn't look at the TV. I'd be like, nope. Oh gosh, nope. Okay, and like look away from it. But I mean, like, and then this episode with the shapeshifter, the way they did the shapeshifting.
Oh right.
Just tearing off the skin. And then the one scene with Starlight. By the way, spoiler alert for people, but you should be caught up on The Boys. Or by her grabbing, or maybe this. I'll try to not do it in a spoiler way. But her grabbing the laptop. What'd you think?
The fake Starlight. Spoiler.
Yes, okay. Well, okay. Now you spoiled it for sure.
So I remember, I remember the interaction with her and Huey.
Yes. And
you see her wake up and sneak away, and then you see Annie.
Yes.
Waking up, and that's when it dawned on me. I'm like, oh.
But did you see when the fake Starlight stood up?
I don't think I did, or if I did, I don't recall it specifically.
You would remember, trust me.
Okay. Did she have a tail?
Nope.
Did she have anything?
Nope.
Was she invisible? I'm confused.
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you off air.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So I'm glad you caught up on that. Good.
Yep.
Good.
I need to mention I did watch a movie today that I had on my want to watch list for a while. I've been doing laundry and getting things set out to pack. and I finally watched Godzilla X Kong: A New Empire.
Okay.
And I got to say, I had a lot of fun with that movie. Like, if you just want to see kaiju and King Kongs and got just punching the crap out of one another, like it's like 80% that and 20% story that tells you why they're punching the crap out of one another.
Okay. Nice.
I really enjoyed it.
I've heard good things about it.
Mm-hmm. And then it also explains the and this is not a spoiler because this is from the trailer and the poster, but the mechanical fist that King Kong ends up with about 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Nice. And what streaming service it was on?
That will be on Max.
Ah, nice.
So available for you and a lot of other cool people.
It's true.
And I'm also trying to finish Doom Patrol.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
And I try to, but it still pops up in my continue watching.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm sitting there trying to watch BattleBots with my son. So I think if I'm correct, or if at least if I'm close, maybe only have a couple episodes left in the series. So we've talked about Agatha. We will get to the other Marvel trailer that we did not expect. But before that, a little historical drama, or at least fictional drama.
Okay.
And that would be Gladiator 2.
That trailer looked better than I expected it to look.
It did. And here's what I didn't realize at the time. Is that the main actor or main character here, obviously in this image you have Pedro Pascal on the right, who the trailer definitely gives away that he's the villain or the bad guy in the movie. But your main character here is Lucian, or Lucius, I can't remember which, who is the son of basically he's the nephew of Commodus from the original movie.
Oh, okay.
So I don't, he ends up in, from what I can tell, or what I read, is that he is, 15 years or something like that after the original movie, which if they would have done it 15 years ago, like they could really just hire the kid who played it. But he's living in Africa with a family, and then I guess he gets called into service or something like that. So, anyway, Fred says, Gladiator 2, this has to be satire. I'll tell you what, in classic Ridley Scott fashion, this movie looks epic.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like it almost, I think years ago, I heard about Gladiator 2. Like I honestly feel like it's been like 10 plus years that they've been talking about it.
Oh,
and it did kind of feel like satire at first, but yeah, once you watch the trailer, like I said, the trailer was way better than I expected it to be.
And you know what it gave us? More of this guy.
That's true. Yes.
Denzel Washington. I'll take more Denzel any day.
Yes. And a sweet hat or whatever, headband.
I think it's like a crown.
Could be. Yeah, sure.
I don't know that for a fact, but I got a pretty good idea. It definitely, the trailer definitely portrays him as a person of influence.
Yes.
So, and at one point, almost looks like, and I can't split screen this out because, I just don't know how to do that. No, I was actually looking at other configurations. Anyway, looks like he is, Fred says, Gladiator 2 training day. That's good. Looks like he is the, I don't know, for lack of a better, still gladiators. They're still enslaved individuals, but it looks like he's the kind of owner, or at least has some sway over our hero in the picture. So,
yeah.
All right. As we cruise along, I thought I had a picture. I do somewhere, but anyway, it was announced, and I don't know who asked for this. Believe me, I wasn't that person, but apparently, Mike, sometime soon, and that's all we know. It's as specific as we have. Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming to theaters. So, if you want more of that experience for that 4-hour movie, rather than just sitting at home where you can pause and get up and go to the bathroom, you can go pay to watch it in the theater where you can't pause it. Or maybe you can because there's a chance that there'll be very few people in the theater. So we're like, all right, we're going to hit pause. Everybody get up, bathroom, come on back, get your popcorn, and be done. So, yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Mike, did you see that? Was that in your 2024 bingo card?
Well, did I see Zack Snyder's Justice League? That answer is yes. Did I
no,
see
I mean,
theaters?
Did you see it come into theaters, I should say?
No, not at all. And yeah, 4 hours in a movie theater, I don't think I could do that without some kind of break. Like, I really do think if it's something like that, they should have like an intermission, you know. But even, can you imagine watching a 2-hour movie and then, okay, we got 15 minutes, go bathroom, get some snacks, and another 2 hours left. I just can't. And I think I saw the movie we're talking about. Probably it took me like 4 times maybe to watch it.
I think that's more than it took me. I think I actually got through it in 2.
Really?
Which is
I don't know. I don't know for I can't say it for sure, but I know I'm almost positive it wasn't one sitting.
Which is saying so because last night after I finished watching The Boys, I put on Godzilla X Kong New Empire, and within 10 minutes was out. I woke up and it was 3 something. Here's the thing. Because I always put something on, because I don't ever intend on falling asleep in my chair. It's like never the plan. It's not going to happen tonight, Mike. I promise you. But when I woke up and it was 3 whatever, and I turned the TV off, and I go upstairs, and I got to think, I'm like, what was I watching? Like, what am I going to have to? What streaming service was it on? And then I was like, it wasn't The Boys, was it? This is my entire. I didn't remember. I mean, I went upstairs and went to sleep, but I don't think I remembered what I actually fell asleep watching until like 10 o'clock this morning.
Okay, well,
so see, Fred says regarding putting that movie in theaters, hope they have nap time during that monstrosity. He says it took me a week to get through Justice League. He said, if we're talking 4 hours, that's half a workday, for God's sake. So,
why am I not surprised that Fred didn't like something? why am I not shocked at that one?
Oh, come on now. Let's be nice, kids. I did have it. All right. It wasn't in the right folder. I apologize to everybody. All right. Buckle up. Hold on to your hats, because processing.
Okay.
It should take that long to process. Anyway, it's just the poster of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, I mean, come on, who doesn't want to?
Cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, who doesn't want to relive this dark and dreary world?
Look. Okay, Zack Snyder's Justice League was better than the Justice League. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
However, part of that was because he was given 4 hours to do it.
Because it was the entire thing, every piece of footage that they shot.
So I look, even if they told them, hey, I know you have all this material, but look, the most we're going to do is 3 hours. I still think that his would be better than Justice League.
Yeah,
but
that was an abomination.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the Marvel character Abomination.
Right. They're different.
Fred says, ooh, they should play it in sepia, which is funny because if they did, I don't know about like a series, but maybe like a mini series, maybe like 6 episodes, maybe 4, I don't know. But in that nightmare world, that'd be fun because at least it'd be different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I really think that where Zack Snyder's Justice League went wrong is in the post credits or mid credits, or maybe just I can't remember exactly where it's after the movie, where they had Martian Manhunter come down. If they would have just kept it to Green Lantern like they planned, it would have saved the whole thing.
I was going to say, I know they had planned that, and no one wouldn't have saved it at all.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but I don't know why they didn't do it that way. I forget. There was a reason for it. That the reason they went with Martian Manhunter instead. I don't know.
Mike, say it with me.
Yes.
Green Lantern makes everything better.
Worse. Yes.
You tried, you sneaky little sucker. All right.
By the way, I think Ryan Reynolds would disagree with that statement.
Well, that's just his opinion, and quite frankly, I don't care. I still like that movie.
It's definitely a movie.
It is. Well, yeah, I just said it was a movie. It's better than Eternals.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
It's better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
I don't know about that.
Michael.
I've seen Green Lantern more than once, and I've only seen Eternals once.
I've seen Eternals twice.
I should say 1.25 times or something like that. Because I was like, oh, you know what, I'm going to go back and rewatch this. And then I started, and then I turned it off and went to.
Like, I can't do it. Can't punish myself like that.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's good parts to Eternals. I can't remember what they are, but I'm sure there's good parts to it.
And like I said before, what the villains or the villainous creatures in that movie.
Yes.
They begin with a D, but I can't. They are. I mean, it is visually. It is a beautiful movie.
Oh yes. Cinematically, absolutely.
It's just more. We'll be generous. I don't know why. It's just more. The fans weren't ready for it. Like, I think it'll find its audience over time.
But and it's funny that you bring up Eternals, because another trailer that I think we're going to talk about apparently has some tie to the Celestials, and I didn't notice.
Can I? I've got that image.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yesterday we were graced with Captain America: Brave New World. Which, all right, I told this to you. I took that YouTube link and I put it on Facebook yesterday, and I said, so I'm like, oh, hey, didn't expect a Brave New World, Captain America Brave New World teaser today, but cool, we're awesome, we get it. And I was looking today, I was preparing the show, and it wasn't there. So I shared it again from my phone. It wasn't there. And that's when I said to you, is it my Facebook that's messing up? This is the last post that I see, and it's not the trailer did it. And you're like, no, that we were in agreement that the last post was whatever it was at the time. I said, it's weird. So I tried sharing, again, copying the link on YouTube on my computer, on my laptop, and posting up there and saying, Brave New World, finally we get, after all these years, something, some other portion of the MCU acknowledges the Eternals, and also we get Red Hulk, which we'll show in a minute. And I went to there was nothing incendiary, nothing crazy. And it said, I went to click post, and it said, this violates our community guidelines or standards. I was like, why?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
And so I took out any negative part about the Eternals. It's like maybe whoever's moderating the thing is a big Eternals fan. I took that out. Nothing. Took out Brave New World. Nothing. Took out Cat. I just put trailer.
Yeah.
Nothing. So the only way that I was able to share it is I joked with you. I went onto Marvel's Facebook page to the post to the trailer for Captain America: Brave New World, and I just shared it, and I didn't include any words. I was like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen." So anyway, we've got a trailer for Brave New World, and it looks. I don't want to say political, like not in the sense that we're in an election year,
right? No.
But there's a lot of I don't want to say even scheming, but a lot of, hey, you need I need you on this, and let me tell you exactly why you need me. I can make your life a lot easier, or I can make your life a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
But what we do see here, at least in these 3 frames, are Anthony Mackie's Captain America flying past what is believed to be the outstretched, the empty hand of the celestial Tiamat, whatever it is. So finally, all it took was 5 years.
Yep, they acknowledge it at least. No, honestly, so this trailer, it made me more interested in new Captain America, because before, I honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as like my interest in Captain America: Brave New World, probably at a 3, and now it's at a 5. So an improvement
out of 10.
Out of 10, yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty interested. I mean, it's weird to see Harrison Ford, of all people, in that Thunderbolt Ross role.
Yeah.
The other actor, I see his face. I just can't remember his name. He passed away, I think, last year.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years back now, or 18 months, whatever it was. So it's just weird because they acknowledge, like, man, it's weird seeing you without that mustache or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so we got the Celestial. I'll say this, at one point, creature or something is chasing Sam, Captain America, and he goes like supersonic.
Yeah.
And I thought about that because like, okay, well, Iron Man has kicked it up, into another gear and blasted away, but he's in a suit.
Yes.
And Anthony Mackie, or Captain America, is wearing goggles.
And he's also enhanced, essentially. Oh, no, we're talking about the Steve Rogers Captain America.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about this version, the Falcon version of Captain America. And so, is it like you see it on a cartoon or something like that? Like, I just imagine him bursting in the mouth, in the way. I don't know. It's crazy things that I think about. But as we mentioned, we did get a Red Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I mean, we knew Red Hulk was coming.
Yeah.
Fred says it's Disney Marvel, Greg. Just consume content and then get ready for new content. Don't think. That's fair.
No, yeah, Red Hulk, absolutely interested. But I like that we only got a little bit of it, but I'm also kind of worried about how it's going to be throughout the whole movie.
Right.
And maybe it's not throughout the whole movie. Maybe it is just a little scene, but who knows?
I mean, I think he's going to play a bigger part than just that one moment, right?
Well, yeah, but I don't know if how much in the movie he's going to be. If it's just going to be maybe it's the third act that he's in, And also, I don't think. Gosh, now I forget his name. By the way, the other guy that played Thunderbolt Ross, was it Will Hurt or something like that?
Yes, William Hurt. Thank you.
William Hurt. Okay.
Oh, you're a mensch.
Okay. Now who plays him now?
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. That's right. That's the name I couldn't remember. I don't think he's going to be doing Red Hulk at all.
Oh no, it's
random stunt, stunt guy. Although it would be funny if he was. They for whatever reason they put him in mocap and it's clearly like a very slow, Red Hulk. Like,
Red Hulk.
He just walking around.
Did I?
No. Did Gray call Mike a bitch? And I don't. If he did, cool. I could care less. But no, I don't think so. A mensch. You said mensch.
Mensch. Yeah.
Mensch.
Yiddish for a really good person.
Yes.
So, and we know that for some reason.
Yes.
Aha! Getting out laundry is what he gets for stepping away. Yeah. See.
It's fair.
You got to stay. You can't miss anything.
Greg, do we got the good parts coming up here?
We got the good parts coming up, Mike.
Let's do it. We got two. We got one we haven't done in a long time, and then our traditional.
Right. I tell you, I am so ready for one of those.
Okay. Let's do the blind rank first.
Oh, we absolutely have to do the blind rank
okay.
First. And we were doing 5, you said?
Yep, 5.
Okay.
I thought about this last night, and it was blind rank cameos you want to see in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. I'm finishing my list now. I mean, I totally had time to do this all day, but I was doing so much other stuff, as I mentioned, going out of town. So I was completely getting, Fred, you'll appreciate this. And any other Husker fans who happen to be watching this, is Hoss and I recorded 2 shows this past week. So we'll have the, for those of you who enjoy the Coronation Overreaction Revisited series, which Mike has been on, we will have the Nebraska-Maryland game coming up on Friday. But I had to get all that done today. Asa mentioned laundry. So I'm very totally haphazardly making some choices right now that, again, I don't think they're going to see, but you never know.
Okay.
That's not how you spell that, but that's okay. And one more. I mean, so many options. I don't
There
even know
is. Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, perfect. I'll ask you first.
Good.
I'll give you my list. Again, this list is in order. It's not changing it, but okay. First one up.
And we're blind ranking 1 through 5.
Blind ranking 1 through 5. Thanos.
5.
5. Okay, that's kind of what I figured. Wesley Snipes' Blade.
Oh, that's a good one. I'd put that at a 2.
2. Okay. Chris Evans' Human Torch.
3.
3. Okay.
Fred says Mike's phone is brighter than the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
All right. Tom Holland Spider-Man.
4.
Okay. And then for number 1, your favorite actor, Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight.
I guess that's number 1. You tricked me. All right.
For me, Tom Holland was like my number 1 choice.
Okay.
When I was thinking about it, because I was watching an interview with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, and then they were talking about Deadpool, Wolverine, the comic books being friends and everything. But I'm like, Deadpool and Spider-Man go together as well. So that's what I was looking for. But okay, I'm interested in seeing what your list is now.
I'm so confused by Fred's numbering here. Just name them again so that Fred can just type them out in order 5 to 1.
Okay. Okay, it was Thanos.
Do more work, Fred.
It was Thanos, then Wesley Snipes' Blade, then Chris Evans' Human Torch, then Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and Oscar Isaac Moon Knight.
Okay, I had to apparently make specifics. All right, are you ready?
Yep, I am ready. I'll write my list down.
Again, in order. See?
Yep. I got you. Yep, I trust you.
I think if negative 66 means that he definitely wants that to happen.
I think so.
That's like the lowest number available. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Throw me off there, Fred. All right. We'll start with Steve Rogers.
Oh, okay. That's a 3.
All right. Good. Balancing act there.
Yeah.
How about Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards?
5.
Okay. Even though it could potentially lead to,
Yeah.
Okay. I actually thought about this one quite a bit. Loki.
Oh, Loki. I'm gonna put him at a 2 spot.
I mean, we know where he is. Like
yeah.
He's holding all the multiverse together.
Yeah. But there is something in this movie about them doing something with the multiverse. So,
with the TVA, yeah.
With TVA, so yeah.
Okay, so you got 2, 3, and 5 occupied?
Yep.
How about Nick Cage's Ghost Rider?
Oh, gotta put him. I mean, yeah. Sorry, I gotta go. I gotta go for 4.
I think you're gonna like how this ends out in your favor.
Okay.
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man.
Absolutely, number 1. Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Perfect. And now on to our. Oh, yeah. Did Fred have one?
He's just putting random numbers out there, so I'm very confused.
That's understandable.
And all I've been on the other side of this, so I know that he's like at least 30 or so seconds behind us.
Here, I'll do Fred's. Okay. Thanos absolutely hates him. Wesley Snipes can't stand him. Chris Evans from the Human Torch, worst movie he's ever seen. Tom Holland Spider-Man, don't even talk to him about it. Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac, that's on Disney Plus. F that. Okay, there we go.
That's good.
Thank you.
All right. Now, the main event, for those of you who were with us a couple weeks ago, we did vacation places that actually exist.
Yes.
We've been doing this main event thing for a little while now. We throw up 15 or so ideas, and then we have to eliminate everything but 5. So we're keeping 5 things. We start with movies from the 80s. We've done movies from the 90s, music. We've done video games. Last time we did actual places that exist in this world, and this week it's fictional vacation places. So this was a lot of fun, although after you got your 15 to me, I looked at the list, I'm like, well, he took a lot of the good ones.
Well, and to be fair, I got a lot of help from my list. So my friend's kids, we were going somewhere, I forget where, and I said, hey, do you guys know some fictional places? And they started naming some off, and I got 15 really quick. In fact, I had more than 15. I had to delete some, and then they were still coming up with some of them. And I was like, I got my 15 already. I don't
stop it.
I don't need more. Now, I think I did have to change some of them because I couldn't find pictures for some.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, I have another option here. So,
do you remember all of the ones that you gave me?
Not at all. Nope.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'd be able to recognize by picture, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I used most of the images you sent me. I did have to change 1 or 2 for formatting and things like that. So I'm going to put up your list to me first.
Okay.
And we will do our very best to make heads or tails of it.
Okay. So you didn't label them. Okay.
No, I couldn't. There's not room.
Okay. So we got Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
We got Gotham. We got Neverland.
Mm-hmm.
We got
Mount Olympus.
Olympus. Then we have Atlantis. That's an easy one.
I labeled that one for you.
Yeah. Then we have, is that the Shire?
That's the Shire.
The Shire. And then we have, I believe that's Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley. Then
we have Sesame Street.
Something like that.
We have Fortress of Solitude.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Got White Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Yeah. Which, by the way, my friend pronounced it Tatooine or something like that.
Oh no.
And then like her kids were saying Tatooine, and they're like, she's like, "Are you sure it's Tatooine?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's not Tatooine."
Tatooine.
Or something like that. Then we have Camelot.
Camelot.
Then we have, I have no idea what that is.
That's Rivendell.
Rivendell. Okay, Rivendell, right?
Yep. The one you gave me was unusable.
Okay. Then we have something else.
That's the Rainbow Bridge to Asgard.
Is it?
Yeah. That's from the MCU.
Okay.
Just trust me.
Okay. And then we have
Hogwarts.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
This is really fun because really it's when I'm reminding you what they are.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit of the piss out of it.
Yeah. All right. What you got?
First things first, give me that Airbnb at the Shire, man.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely.
That's nice and quiet. Speaking of quiet, let's go to the Fortress of Solitude, even though I hate snow, but I feel like it's warm enough on the inside, maybe. I don't know. We watch like even the Superman movie starring Christopher Reeve, like Gene Hackman, when he goes there, he's wearing a coat. So maybe it's not as inviting. I don't want to go to Gotham because like I don't want to get shot.
Right.
But Mount Olympus would be fun.
Okay.
Tatooine. The problem with Tatooine is like sand. It's so coarse and it gets everywhere.
Everywhere, yes.
But Rivendell and Camelot.
Rivendell and Camelot. Okay.
So I think that's 5, right?
Yes, that is 5.
Okay. Fred, by the way, on your list says Olympus, Fortress of Solitude, the Millennium Falcon, Gotham, Atlantis. No Neverland. I don't want to. Oh, no, it's different. It's not the Michael Jackson Neverland.
Yeah.
Not Neverland Ranch. It's
you
you probably get hooked at this Neverland.
That's true. I'm surprised you guys both picked Fortress of Solitude. That does not seem like a fun place at all. It doesn't seem comfortable. It's going to be cold for sure. Maybe it's a little warm on the inside, but I've never seen Fortress of Solitude and been like, oh man,
so
that's going to be a great place to go.
I thought about Atlantis, but my version of Atlantis is like the Atlantis that's lost.
Yeah,
it is underwater. So I'm like, I don't want to drown.
Fair.
If it was like if it was the Atlantis that's like middle of the Mediterranean and above water and very tropical and remote, okay, I see that. I don't. Diagon Alley seems, I want to say dirty, but I mean, kind of dirty. Hogwarts, a lot of trouble happens at Hogwarts. Nowhere, if it's post, like if it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, nowhere, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
But that's a fun list. I can't wait to revisit it for your picks, Mike, especially now that I told you what all of them are.
Well, no, the one picture that you said Rainbow Bridge, that's not the one that I sent in.
It's not.
Okay. And it doesn't look like the Rainbow Bridge at all. I mean, it does, but like not, I mean, yeah.
That's like, it's like the, I thought, because I imagine it was Asgard.
Yes.
So, I mean, I apologize. It's definitely the like from the first Thor movie with the super spinny Rainbow Bridge activator.
Yes, I can see that. But yes, you are correct. It was all of not just Rainbow Bridge. It's all of Asgard.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to hang out on the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah. Although I kind of would be cool, just to see it in real life.
Yeah. And if you got a Mario Kart, even better.
It's absolutely
a Rainbow Road. All right, let's take a look at what I offered to you, Mike. And again, it's been over a week since I looked at this, so this will be fun. Okay, so we have Springfield.
Okay.
From The Simpsons. We have Rohan. We have the Emerald City from Oz. That on the top right is the Mushroom Kingdom. Speaking of Mario.
Okay.
On the next row we have Wakanda. Then it's Grayskull, but really it's Eternia.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Naboo. There's Star City. There's Pandora from the Avatar series.
Yeah.
There is Tomorrowland.
Okay.
From the George Clooney movie that nobody liked.
Yes.
Then we have The Wall from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
We have Minas Tirith, or Gondor, if you want to just keep it simple. Then there's Dorne, the Kingdom of Dorne, also from Game of Thrones. What is that one? Hold on. I think I have these labeled. There's Oa, home of the Green Lanterns, of course. That was probably pretty obvious.
Yes, yes.
I actually do have it labeled here. Oh, all right. Middle of the bottom row is Kamartaj, home of the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes.
So,
okay. Nice list.
I tried to, again, when you took Gotham and like I couldn't just be like Central City or
yeah. Okay. I'm going to go to Emerald City, aka Oz, because I think I could take that place over fairly easily.
It's a vacation. It's not supposed to be forever.
I'll have some fun there. I'm going to, what is that? The Mushroom Kingdom.
Mushroom Kingdom.
because
You could probably take that over too.
could be fun. Could be fun.
Because of mushrooms, or
Could be
what
fun,
exactly am I trying to say, Mike?
you know? And then okay, let me see the Springfield. I feel like that's just that's a town that true is fictional and it just seems dangerous. I'm gonna go to Wakanda. I can't take that place over, and I'm gonna stick out like a sore thumb. But look, they have
You could be the White Wolf, and in all honesty, you do look a lot like Sebastian Stan.
I wish I did. But I just think that they have such amazing technology there. Like it just can be like I picture like you don't have to do anything. Like you just walk in a room and there's just robots that come to you and do whatever you want. Do whatever, you know. So I got Emerald City, Mushroom Kingdom, Wakanda. Let's go Star City.
Okay. Are you going to fail it, or are you going to?
Oh, I definitely won't fail it. I'm going to take over it.
Failed this city.
And by the way, is that actually what Star City looks like, or did you just?
That's from the comics.
Okay. Because that's just strange.
Right.
It's either that they were like, okay, we
need a Central Park type.
I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but when we were designing these buildings, look above. It looks like a star. We got to change this Star City now.
Well, they say that the layout of Washington D.C. was done, by the Masons, like a pentagram or something like that. I don't know. It's like, maybe they just had a little fun with it in Star City.
Yeah, well, I think this was more of like, hey, we're going to call this Star City, so we better have a reason for it.
Right.
All right, let's see. You know what? Just because I would like to be, and I think this is out in space, I would like to be out in space and experience it and talk to the people and be like, hey, why have you guys like seen this Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie? It's horrible, right? They would be like, yeah, that's not us at all. So I'm going to go to Oa.
That's a horrible representation of our culture. Oh, man. Well, let's there's never a good way. Like either we do double up on your picks or we double up on my list. But let's go back to your list, and then you tell me
my five,
the 5 spots that your 5 for this list. There we go.
I'm going Millennium Falcon for sure. I
see. The only reason I didn't select Millennium Falcon is I view that as a mode of transportation, not a place to stay. So,
but you could stay there if you wanted to.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going Sesame Street for nostalgic reasons.
Okay.
Because I'm curious, like, how big is Big Bird?
Do you just say you want to hand up your ass, Mike?
I mean, it's so funny. So one of my friends was talking to me, and she was talking about how she's like, yeah, my kids talked about they wanted to, and there she has little kids, wanted to watch her podcast or whatever, but I wasn't sure if it was really family friendly or not. I was like, for the most part it is, but I was also like, they're not gonna like it. We talk about like how we were in high school and our lives as 40-year-olds now. So, but okay, Millennium Falcon, Sesame Street. I am going to go Asgard. I am going to go Shire, of course. The Shire, of course. And do I go Camelot? I mean, I'm not a knight, but just to look, I think just the countryside would be good. Yeah, so I'm going to go Camelot.
Okay. It does look like a very nice place.
Yes. All right.
I like how nobody's going to Gotham.
No.
Most famous human in all of the DCU. Nobody wants to be there.
No, not at all.
No. I mean, with that rogues gallery, you're probably going to be abducted or something.
Yeah.
Or a victim of some crime. All right, well, let's jump back to mine here real quick. I think I would go. Here's the thing. Dorne looks very nice and tropical, and they're sort of removed from the chaos of King's Landing and Westeros. So I'd probably put Dorne.
Okay.
Rohan, come on, they're the horse people. And when they're not being invaded by Uruk-hai, seems like a pretty nice place. I would definitely pick Eternia. Just
okay. Yeah.
You talk about nostalgia for I like how your nostalgia is like learning things, and my nostalgia is beating up monsters. So,
yes.
it says a lot about us. I would try to think of like where I could hang out and not face a whole lot of danger. I feel like Camartage is, at least, until Scarlet Witch showed up, is pretty low-key place. And,
yeah.
Hey, you might learn a new skill or two.
Absolutely. Yes.
And last but not least, of course, I'm going to Oa.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
No surprise there. Yeah. So, Mike, we're not going to have a show next week because I'll be out of town.
We will not.
What should our main event? Oh, let me do this. By the way, Fred said for his my selection: Springfield, Mushroom Kingdom, Eternia, Oa, and the Wall. Again, he does like to be secluded from people. So
that's fair. Good list.
All right, what should we pick from next time around, Mike or Fred in the comments?
Yeah, I'm blanking, but I'll probably think of one later.
Okay.
So we got 2 weeks. So
we got 2 weeks to figure out. Yeah. We got lots of time. Anything else that you have, Mike?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think this won't be news to you, but this will be news to Fred and anybody else who's watching or listening down the road. Is that we did, we talked about all that's happened over the last couple of weeks, but did not mention that sadly we had to put our dog Coco down yesterday. So found out that she had a pretty sizable tumor on her tongue, and she had lost. I mean, I thought she lost a lot of weight because she was getting older because she was still eating every day. But apparently this was causing her quite a bit of trouble. I had taken her in Wednesday morning to get her vaccinations, make sure she was all up to date to be boarded while we're out of town. And the vet comes in and kind of looks at her. He's like, I know you're here for that, but she probably wouldn't survive that. And I was like, that just completely took me back. I'm like, it's vaccines. Like,
yeah,
but apparently in her relatively already compromised state, I should say. So she had a tumor that was on the back of her tongue, of all places. And I asked the vet, I said, is this something that like we could have done anything for? Because he basically said, I was like, do we have treatment options? He said, no. He's like, I could call an oncologist, but it might give her a couple months and it cost you a few $1,000. I was like, it's not that I don't love my dog. But why put her through it? Like she's 13 and a half years old. Mm-hmm. And so this tumor that was on the back of her tongue, I said, if we would have caught it sooner, what could have been? He's like, probably wouldn't have caught it sooner. It had, because after looking at her briefly, he's like, we'd like to take her in the back. I'd like to do some blood lab work on her, and x-rays, and blood work all came back really good. I mean, perfectly fine for the situation, but the x-ray found this tumor. He said it had to crest up over the top of her tongue to where we could see it. And so that was Wednesday morning. And I said, look, I mean, it's not my dog, it's our dog. Nobody left the house this morning thinking they were going to come back to no dog. So we scheduled it for yesterday afternoon. And my wife told Ashley told Garrett about it. And he said, he's like, I don't want to go to that. Like, he was there, 5+ years back when we had to say goodbye to Lucky. He's like, it'd be too sad. And like, how do you tell the 3-year-olds. And I guess my wife basically said, like, well, they're going to go be with Jesus. And, so Rob was excited. He's like, Coke's going to be with Jesus? I was like, all right, well, hey, he's, we should all be so happy, right? So it was just she and I who went. And I'll tell you, the people at the Belleville Animal Clinic were phenomenal. But yeah, she, Coke has always been skittish at the vet. Like if you put her up on the exam table, she's going to try to jump off. They put her up on, and they had this real nice, they call it the quiet room. Yeah, I was going to say quiet place, but that's the movie.
Yeah.
But it's like it's basically a shed, electricity. I mean, they have all the amenities out there because I said, if we all come, I said, I understand to be chaos with 3 little kids. He's like, we got this place that's off to its side. It's over there, and it's exactly so that everybody could be there. Well, again, it was just us, but they got her up on the table for it, and she was trying to jump down. So the assistant, the vet tech, whatever, was kind of holding her, and she was still trying to jump off. So I'm just kind of holding her head.
Yeah.
So that's how she went. But it sucked. I mean, like I bawled like a baby, dude.
I'm sure. Yeah, no doubt.
I'm 42. This dog was with us for the entirety of my 30s. I want you to think about that. Yeah. From 2011 when I was 29 at the time. So from a little pup to an old gal. But as I say, she's not in any pain anymore.
Right, exactly.
I didn't know she was in pain. I knew she was in pain, but I just thought it was like regular dog stuff. Like when I'd come home and see that she chewed on one of the toys or something, like a Lego piece or something like that, and had coughed up the toy that was obviously mangled now, and the blood was. I was like, all right, she coughed up her gums or something like that. I didn't think any real thing of it. Should have, and so that sucks. But I think the week away will kind of help distract the kids from it, and probably myself as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's something else that happened this past week, and I didn't want the show to go because usually, Fred's a regular, obviously, here and on the 5 Heart podcast, and we always hear that click, click, click of her walking in the background, and there's none of that. Last night was the first night, outside of putting the dogs in the kennel, like if we had an early morning flight or something like that, when we were boarding them. But last night was the first night in about 15 years that we didn't have a dog in the house. Yeah. So a little adjustment. But I'll tell you what, how we won't figure it out is by getting another dog.
I was just going to ask you that if you were going to, because someone I work with, unfortunately she lost her dog as well, and then I think it was like the next day she got another dog, and look at people, and no judgment on anybody,
no judgment,
but that is how some people are like, I must always have a dog at all times. Like I can't, and because I think she even said something along the lines of like, it was too hard, I couldn't go through it, I need to get another dog. But
we had said honestly for years. I mean, when there was no inclination that anything was, we said like, no, when it's Coco's time, like we ain't getting another dog.
That's what I thought, because I thought I had remember you saying that.
We even joked. I'm like, all right, we'll bring in like Serve Pro or some deep clean team to come in and get all the dog fur out, because it was like the dog.
Yeah.
So, but no, we got the bearded dragon now.
Yes.
It's the weirdest thing to say.
Although here's the thing, like, would it surprise you if your wife brought a dog home?
It surprised me that she brought Coco home.
Yeah.
13 years ago or whatever it was. Because it was one of the, we used to look on like Pet Finder or something like that. We're like, oh, that's a cute dog. That's a cute dog.
Yeah.
And then, I think I've told the story maybe on here, maybe years back, but I was still in terrestrial radio, and I was interviewing a buddy of mine. Actually, you know him too, John Garrett.
Oh, yes.
Who's a comedian. He's from our area, and he was going to be back in our area doing some shows. And so I was talking to him like a little pre-recorded 10-minute segment, something like that. And Ashley called me, and I couldn't be like, hold on, John, let me take this call. So when I called her back and she said, I love you, and I'm like, I love you too. She's like, I love you, laying it on thick. I was like, oh. She's like, so I got a dog. I'm like, and then she got the Beard of the Dragon without no finals. But no, I think it's time to, focus more on the children.
Yeah, I agree.
not that we didn't focus on the children, but
of course.
That's why, and I had just bought this new crate for her a few months ago because, again, when we were gone and she was roaming around the house, she'd chew up something that she didn't need to chew up. So I'm going to take it to the local Humane Society, obviously after we get back from vacation, and I think I'll be the one to take it just to make sure.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm here to donate this, but that's a cute puppy.
Right.
No, I don't think my wife would do that. But so that was 13 plus years.
Coco was a good dog.
Good dog, good girl. So 10 out of 10 would recommend all the good snuggles and everything. So all right, so all that being said, great catching up with you, Mike.
Yes, absolutely.
Didn't mean to end the show on a downer, but we have a lot of fun. We had some laughs, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, and I'll fill you in on the trip that we had, quote unquote, back east, as it were.
And I will probably, if my timing is right, I will be talking about, maybe not spoiler, talking about Deadpool Wolverine, because I see that on not this Thursday, but the next Thursday.
I gotta make it official and get a ticket for that. Probably like a Friday midday. So, all right, my friend. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of our great viewers and listeners. Everybody who watches this even after. Hey, you got 2 whole weeks before the next one. So no excuse to not hit. Oh, wait a minute. No excuse to not hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you know every time we drop new content, be it a new live stream or a short video or whatever in between. All the reasons to do all the things. So play a wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald Club. No, we don't have another 15, 18 minutes, I think. Sometime, Mike, we'll have to talk about the songs I used to play on the radio when I had to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
All right. See you, crazy kid, later, Fred, and you as well, Mike. So the co-host of the year is the gentleman that sits right over there. That's right. Oh, look at that. Look at us. Oh, I see you. I see you right there. For the co-host of the year, Mike Luther, and for the probably viewer of the year, Fred Sacco. I'm the host, Greg Mahochko. This is Nerds United. We remind you each and every week, Mike, to be kind
and rewind.
This is a production of the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network. For more jittery shenanigans, go to jitterymonkey.com.